If you'll please rise for the honor guard, please stay standing for the honor guard, prayer, and invocation. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag Thank you. Remain standing. I'd like to invite up to the podium Chaplain from Daisy Mountain Fire Department, Sean Stombard. You can come up this way. Yeah, let's put you up front. Okay.
Wow, isn't it great to be a firefighter? Thank you, pipers. Thank you, drummers. Thank you, honor guard. The tradition of having chaplains in the fire service goes back at least as far as the tradition of pipes and drums, maybe a little further. So it's my honor to be here. And so I'm going to present an invocation. Would you pray with me? Father, we just pray that you'll be with us in these days of training. Thank you so much for the Arizona State Fire School. Thank you for all the hard work that's gone into this. Thank you for the students that are here to learn. We would ask three things. One, when we come across a situation where we need to save a person who is in peril, you will give us your bravery and your strength. Two, give us wisdom to recognize hazards, to control those hazards, and bring calm to chaos. And three, at the end of our run, at the end of our shift, let us go home to our families and let them be blessed by the work that we do. Thank you so much. We invite you here, and we thank you for this school. Amen.
Please be seated. Okay, we ready to have fun! Woo! Just had to make sure everybody was awake, you know? Good morning. I'm Bob Hansen. I'm your kind of like masters of ceremonies or your clown up here on the stage or whatever, but don't throw any popcorn, don't throw any apples, don't throw anything up here, please. But yeah, I'm here to help along and get things going here. We changed up our little ceremony this morning. Hope everybody liked the little videos. We have a lot of sponsors, as you can tell on our videos and our slides that we did today. Without those sponsors, some of the classes may not make or something. We're really trying to get the best classes that we can provide for you out there. So the sponsors that we had, and some of them were in what we call the bowling alley, that long hallway that you walk down to get over here. You saw some of those sponsors that have given us some money to help out get the school going. Because the school runs on your registration fees, on donations, on grants that we get, and things like that. So we really want to thank our sponsors out there. There we go. We're going to do some introductions here in a minute, but about fire school, this is, I think it said, the 44th fire school. I am a member of the training committee, our training committee, which Chief Wood will come up and explain a little bit. It's all a bunch of volunteers that put this whole school together. So we're here. If you have any kind of questions, the registration desk is over in the Palo Verde lobby area. They can get it. If you see anybody that's walking around with a blue polo shirt that says training committee on it, ask them. Hopefully they should know where to send you or do anything. We have boards up out all over. And there was a book. I meant to bring it with me. That's what I forgot. You should have been out at the registration area. There's a book out there. It tells all about the fire school, tells times and everything in there. It gives you maps of where to go if you're going to be going to an off-site. So some of the other things that I really like to do, and I'll do it right now. I want to thank both hotels. We have this main hotel, which this is not part of the hotel. Our main hotel is just right across the courtyard over here, which is the Phoenix Mesa Marriott. We've been out here almost 20 years at the Mesa Marriott, and they've never kicked us out. Woo! So they really do like seeing you guys every year. I hope you've enjoyed, the work that they've put into it. They really try to streamline our registration over there for anybody that's staying here. Then for the last couple of years, we've also been working still within the Marriott chain, but with the Residence Inn, which is over about 3 miles from here, and they've been real good over there. And how many of you are checked into the Residence Inn? A few of you? Okay, over there, I don't know, they give out these bags, and they do something different over there. Our Mesa Marriott over here does great things, and they help you out as much as they can. Over there, they had little kids put their hand mark and make your little welcoming card. Those weren't copies or anything. Those were actual kids that put their hands on there and made those for you. So they do those kind of things. One other group that does so much for this, and I want to recognize this, is Premier Audio Visual. Those guys that are up here on the very top, and gave me my microphone, put these screens up here for you. They've been doing this, I just found out, for 16 years here. So thank you guys very much for doing that. Another landmark for us. Let's give that honor guard and band that just came in here, let's give them a round of applause. They hear you. They've been doing this 20 years. I don't know if you saw one of the slides that were up on the screens today, but they've been doing this now for 20 years. They started out, it was just the Mesa honor guard, buglers, bagpipers, and all those. It started out as a little small group. We asked them to do it 20 years ago. They came in and did that. And then from there, it's kind of like splintered out where a lot of other fire departments got some pipers and drummers and their own honor guards. And then they formed up a little statewide type group. And right now, Sean Alexander, who works for Mesa Fire Department, he organizes this whole thing every year for me. And they've gotten, I don't know from wherever, but if you saw them walking down, you probably saw different patches on their shirts or on their jackets and stuff. They came from all over the state to help out and make this huge honor guard. So once again, thank you, honor guard and drums. I'll get up this way. I like the lower stage, but what I'd like to do next is invite, like I said, we've been out here in Mesa for about 20 years, and I'd like to really invite up the mayor of Mesa. I can't even tell you when the last time we had a mayor of Mesa come on here, but I'd like to welcome up to the stage Mayor John Giles. Thank you. It's all over there.
Thank you very much. It's my honor to welcome you to the state bagpipe convention. I know this is going to be a great convention. I hope everybody, I didn't see everybody, maybe not, I'm sorry. I had to say that. No, thank you to the 44th Annual Arizona State Fire School. On behalf of a very grateful community, we are grateful for the preparation that the brave men and women of our fire departments all across the state put into preparing themselves to serve the constituents that we share. As was indicated earlier, this is the 20th time that Mesa has had the honor of doing that, and I think part of that is because, frankly, we are in love with our fire department. I had I don't know if it was an initiation or the privilege of about a week after I was sworn in as mayor of being loaded in full equipment, dragged through a smoking building, pulling hoses, and having a taste of what it is that you folks do for a living. And that gave me a great appreciation for how hard you work to be in a position to do the jobs that you do. And your service here over the next day or two is a great way to do that. So again, on behalf of those that you serve, thank you. And on behalf of the people of Mesa, welcome. It's now my privilege to introduce our fire chief. Mesa, we are, as I indicated, very proud of our fire department. We think that we are a very innovative, elite, nationally recognized fire department. We do a lot of very innovative things. And a lot of the credit for that goes to our chief, Mary Camelli. I won't tell you how long she's been with the Mesa Fire Department, but she was one of the very first female firefighters, thank you, firefighters to be in the Mesa Academy, and we are very, very proud of her. So ladies and gentlemen, the best fire chief in the United States of America, Mary Camelli.
Okay, so the mayor exaggerated a little bit. I wouldn't go that far. But Mayor, thank you so much. We are very, very appreciative and thankful that we have such wonderful support from our mayor and council. They have always been very supportive of us, and it shows. Thank you, Mayor, for being here today. And also in our company is our council member, Kevin Thompson from District 6. Councilmember Thompson, thank you for being here. Along with his assistant, Alicia. So we appreciate that very much, the support that we get. What a great sight. Thank you all for being here. This just shows how important training is for what we do. And it is just so nice to see departments from all over Arizona here in Mesa. Like the mayor said, we're so happy to host it here. This doesn't go on without a lot of work. And I know Clay's going to introduce the group to you, but I have to say, the training committee, these are chiefs and officers that have full-time jobs. And they still make this a priority for this weekend. And they take time out of their busy, busy schedules because training is so important. And I just can't go without saying thank you so much, because I know the work that goes into this, and I think you need to know the work that goes into this, because they really dedicate this weekend for you, for all of you to be here. So thank you so much. Take advantage of the classes that you're going to be learning this weekend. You're either learning something new, refreshing something old, or maintaining what you know. But any reason you're here, take that information, and what's critical is you share it back to your organization. Share it with your members. Share it with each other, because we're as strong as our team is. Our profession is, as you know, we're proud. We're very, very proud to be firefighters. And we want to make sure that we do things very, very safely. And we'll continue to do that as we continue to maintain our training levels. Another thing to do is please network. There's departments from all over Arizona here. Please network, because you'll be amazed on how you won't have to reinvent the wheel because somebody already did it somewhere else. So if you can network and get to know each other across the state of Arizona, you'll learn a lot of great information here. When we get called to serve, it's because it's someone's worst day. And their worst day is our everyday. And that's why it's so important we know our jobs so well. So I appreciate you taking the time, I really do, for you to train, because we want you to be safe. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate all the hard work that goes into this career, and we're very, very proud folks. While you're here in Mesa, can I have folks from Mesa Fire and Medical stand up, or City of Mesa stand up in the crowd here? If you need any assistance of any kind, look for these folks. They'll help you. I know you can Google restaurants, but it's always nice to talk to a live person sometimes and get information. So thank you guys for being here. But seriously, look for anybody from Mesa if you want help for anything, and they're happy to help you. Thank you so much for being here. Lastly, thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great time while you're here. And thanks for coming to Mesa for the State Fire School. Have a great day.
Okay, next, what I'd like to invite up is the president of the Professional Firefighters Association, Brian Jefferies, to do a nice little welcome for you.
Fellow firefighters, brothers and sisters, welcome to Mesa, welcome to Fire School. Glad you're all here. I want to echo thank you and so much applause for our brothers and sisters that take the time to be part of our honor guard and our pipes and drums. They're exceptional. Thanks for a great job. We appreciate you. Thank you. Also, I want to echo what my dear friend Mary just said, and that is the Arizona Fire Training Committee makes this fire school every year a complete labor of love. It's a side thing they do, but they do it because they care so deeply about all of us knowing what we're doing and being able to serve Mrs. Smith every day the best that we can. And thank you to the training committee. Great job on another great fire school. I want to say just something about fire school, because as I look around this crowd and I see this melting pot of firefighters from throughout the state of Arizona, this school is so indicative of whom we are. You say, well, what the hell do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that I am so honored and privileged to hold this role that I have, because I get to travel all over the state of Arizona. I get to travel over this great country of ours talking to fellow firefighters and fire chiefs and many other leaders throughout this country. And I have many of the same questions when I talk to them. The first is, how the heck do you guys fight fire when it's 120 degrees? And so I always, of course, answer that question. But the other questions I get is how do you guys do it in Arizona? It's a very low tax state. It's a boom-bust economy. One day you're building enough houses, more than enough houses than you ever need. The next minute your economy's flat. And you've got a lot of limited resources. How do you guys do it? And then they also ask, how do you guys do it? I mean, the Arizona Fire Chiefs Association, the Fire Districts Association, the Fire Marshals Association, the PFFA, you guys work together all the time. It's not like that anywhere else. We're always bickering and fighting about how to get our business done. And I say this place right now is so indicative of whom we are, because that is the story of the Arizona Fire Service. Because we do it so differently than many other places, because we come together. We work together. Just yesterday, I was in a meeting with a lot of leaders from Arizona talking about the future of automatic aid, talking about the future of mutual aid. Because even though each of you came here today wearing a shirt that has the name of some fire department on the back of it, that name does not mean that you don't care about every single person in the state of Arizona that calls 911, and it means that every single one of you is willing to go to that call regardless of boundaries, regardless of jurisdictions, to take care of people. And that is what is so special about the Arizona Fire Service. And it means something, because there are so many places throughout this country where the brakes hit as the minute they hit the border, as if it's a wall around their jurisdictions, and that's just not who we are. And never is this more on display right now as we are in these this very place, is on display for the world. Because the world is watching Arizona Task Force 1 right now, as they have been doing unbelievable work in Houston and the Gulf, and are currently, as we speak, on their way to Florida to do even more good, to try to take care of people that are being devastated by these storms right now. And hallelujah to them. And I want to talk about one more place where this is on display. And I talked earlier about the partnerships between all of our various organizations and the critical roles we play in this Arizona Fire Service. And that is, if you go down to our great state capitol, there was one place left on that lawn under the shadow of the governor's tower and the legislature. And we, over the last 20 years, have been working hand in glove with one another to figure out a way to memorialize our fallen. And I'm here to announce to all of you that on January 7th of 2018, we'll be holding our annual memorial at that wonderful, wonderful memorial location that is there to memorialize all Arizona firefighters and paramedics and EMTs that have fallen in the line of duty. That is our special place. That is our hallowed grounds. This is where we go once a year to come together as an Arizona Fire Service to always remember our fallen and always to take care of the families of those who have fallen, because that's who we are. Because it doesn't matter what the name is on the back of your shirt. It doesn't matter, because we always go when the call comes in, no matter what, and we always support each other. And brothers and sisters, whether you're a brand new firefighter who just recently got that wonderful phone call that we'll always treasure in each of our lives, or whether you're an old salt that's here to brush up on some new skills or brush up on some old skills, enjoy fire school, learn all you can, meet with one another, chat with one another, and most of all, be safe out there. God bless every one of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Okay, the next person I want to invite up is Jeff Whitney. He is our state forester and fire marshal. So, Jeff, come on up.
Good morning. I guess the mic's not on. Good morning. You know, I can't even pretend to try to compete with the previous speakers. Mr. Mayor, thank you. The chaplain, the honor guard, Chief Kennelly, Brian. It's really humbling for me. Some of you might know me. I haven't been in the fire service. I never thought running into a burning building was a very smart idea. But when I was a kid, growing up in a small town in central Arizona with a volunteer fire department, I knew I wanted to fight wildland fire. So in partnership, we are blessed to have you all and your brothers and sisters respond to our wildfires across the state and to support other states and hurricanes. We've got 90 overhead and 60 engines from Arizona out on the western wildfires, and we've also got a 14 personnel hazard type 3 team from DFFM out in East Texas right now. And we're gonna take things to the next level while I'm blessed and humbled to be your state forester and fire marshal. I think about the evolution in the fire service in Arizona. I've watched it my entire career. Interestingly enough, 1966 is when the Arizona Fire Chiefs Association was created, and that also was when Arizona took on the wildland firefighting and fire management responsibility in 1966. I'm really honored and humbled to be considered a member of the cadre that put this together. Can we give a round of applause, please, for all of those that worked so long and so hard to put this together for you? So there are opportunities here. You've got a tremendous opportunity to learn, to engage with your counterparts, to learn from one another, and to learn an awful lot of highly technical and very diverse training delivery packages this week. We have a saying in wildland that we stole from the Marines: train the way you fight, fight the way you train. Chief Kennelly said it quite well. Safety is paramount. We do what most people cannot imagine. You do some things that I'd rather not imagine. I'm proud to know you. We're happy you're here. We look forward to strengthening our relationships. We're working on a mutual aid response plan. We're working on all hazard coordination across the state so that we can do a better job with you for our citizens. Governor Ducey would like to express his appreciation to you as I am doing for myself. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Talk to you in the halls.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay, next to introduce the people that have done this is I'd like to invite up Chief Clay Wood. He's from Timber Mesa Fire District. So Clay.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here today to see so many of you here. Mr. Whitney here just talked about how many of you or how many of our fellow firefighters are in other states trying to help them in their time of need. And we've got the numbers down just a little bit, I think, from that, but we're really glad to have you here and to look out there in the audience and see so many of you. Thank you for coming. I also have got some thank yous today. I have the opportunity to be the chairman of one of the greatest organizations I've ever been affiliated with, the Arizona State Training Committee. And I appreciate what's already been said about them. And I can tell you the words that have been spoken about the training committee are so true. These men and women from large agencies, medium-sized agencies, and small agencies put in so much time, commitment, effort, and even funding from their own pockets in order to make fire school successful. Many of them are already retired. I'd ask the committee to please stand and be recognized. There's roughly 50 of them to put this on every year. We're grateful for them. We also, I don't know if you know Jeff and Melina. Jeff Johnson and Melina Hoya, they work for the Arizona Center for Fire Service Excellence. All the course completions that you're going to get, the registration, they've been part of that. They also take care of any certification that we do. So Jeff and Melina, can you please stand? Bob already mentioned the hotel staff from the Mesa Marriott or Phoenix Mesa Marriott, as well as the Residence Inn. If you'll stand and recognize them, they really do some good things for us, and anything that you need, their goal is to make your home away from home very comfortable. So if you need something, ask. And please be nice to them, okay? I know sometimes things happen just because karma just doesn't like us sometimes. And if you have issues with the front desk, please, I can tell you, you get a lot more bees with sugar than you do with vinegar. So, how many baseball fans do we have in here? Any? All right. So, how many people have heard of Coach Scalinas? Nobody. Okay, he coached college baseball for 43 years. He died at the age of 97 and coached so many years during that. He didn't retire until he was 78. But one thing I want to talk about real quick is he taught us about home plate. And you're wondering, what does home plate, baseball, and the fire service have to do together? Well, I hope to help you understand that. How many of you either coached or played Little League or Little League softball? A lot of you? Oh, yeah. Does anybody know how wide home plate is? Well, come on. 17 inches. How many of you went on to play high school baseball or softball? Quite a few hands going up. How wide is home plate? 17 inches. Did you play college baseball or softball? I don't see any hands. Okay, 17 inches. What about Major League Baseball? 17 inches, right? Same size plate. What do you do when a Major League Baseball player can't hit a 17-inch strike zone? You send them to LA, right? Okay. All right. We trade them, don't we? Bench them. Okay, what do we do, or what we don't do? We don't widen their strike zone, do we? Do we say, well, you can't hit a 17-inch strike zone? Let's make it 18 inches or 19. Or you really suck, so we're going to make it 24 inches. Do we do that? No, we don't do that. What do we do in the fire service when we have a firefighter that fails to come to training, that fails to come to drill, if that's what you call it? When they get there, if they have a bad attitude, they don't put any effort into it, they refuse to work as a crew. What do we do with that firefighter who freelances on the emergency scene? Or the firefighter that fudges their run numbers on their incident reports or their incident documentation? What do we do with the firefighter that refuses to wear their proper PPE during salvage and overhaul, that doesn't wear an SCBA appropriate when they should, that refuses to shave in order to meet the NFPA fit testing? What do we do with that firefighter? What do we do with the firefighter that runs down the administration, other organizations, or other members of your organization? If you step back and think about this just for a little bit, and we take this home plate, I'm going to do just a little bit of artwork here. What does that look like? Does that look like a house? Pretty good job, huh? So what happens in our homes with our children when we fail to teach them discipline, we fail to teach them respect, we fail to teach them to say Mr. and Mrs., we fail to teach them to be kind? What happens when we don't work with our spouses, be kind to our spouses or other family members that we have? What happens in our schools today where our teachers don't have the proper tools to teach, or our teachers don't have the proper ability to discipline and teach our kids? When our kids, everybody's a winner and everybody gets a trophy. Are we widening the plate? What happens in our communities with our church leaders that are having to change the rules of their doctrine? Or we have legislatures or people in authority that fail to hold the commitment that they're made? What happens when we have those same people, when they cross the line and we try to hold them accountable and it's slid underneath the table or the rug and all is forgotten about? Are we widening the plate? I think if we step back and we look at what we are as a society, and if we don't learn to hold people accountable, and we don't stop widening the plate. Now, I know in some organizations it would really be nice to trade some firefighters, but regardless, I know some people you're not going to get 2-to-1 for, right? But regardless, when we step back and look at that, we have to hold people accountable, don't we? And if we don't do that, what's going to happen to our house? Would you agree with me that there's dark days ahead? It's my hope that when you guys walk away from the 2017, the 44th annual Arizona Fire School, that some of the things that you professionally take away with are the importance of training, the importance of standards, the importance of holding each other accountable, including yourself. I hope that the standards that you're taught during this school session, the opportunities that you have to go through life skills, leadership skills, and apply tactics and procedures to what you do, that you can take that back to your organization and make your organization stronger and better and safer. And we also need to pass this on to other organizations. There's the roughly 750 attending fire school. We know there's more than that in the state of Arizona that could be here, that could benefit from this. Please pass the word, and remember, everyone goes home every day, every time, and it's our responsibility to do that. Godspeed be with you, and have a great fire school.
Thank you, Clay. I found my book. So if you guys have that book, that's the book you need to have. It has all the information you need in it. It is right there. And then since it is my show today and I'm running right on schedule, I'm going to make it run a little bit longer. One of the other ways that we help support Fire School is by buying a license plate. So if you haven't bought a license plate, anybody can buy a license plate. It doesn't matter if you're a professional, career, volunteer, combo, anybody, your moms, dads, aunts, uncles, if your kids drive or whatever, get a license plate. We, the training committee, fire training here in Arizona, get a portion of this money that you pay for your license plates. It comes right back to help support this school. So if you're out there and don't have a license plate, which I was really happy to see when I was out in the parking lots yesterday, a lot of you had those license plates. Please buy those and enjoy those and get those. The next person I want to invite up, because it's another way that we help support Fire School and pay for some of this stuff, is retired Chief Randy Redmond, and he's in charge of our foundation. So Randy, if you'll come on up.
Good morning. How's everybody this morning? It would be my mistake if I didn't recognize the fact that the foundation, the establishment of the foundation and all the hard work that goes into it goes through the committee. And like everybody else, I want to say thanks for everything. But more than that, the biggest thing I want to do right now is talk to the people that make the foundation successful. You know, I shuffle cards every year. I'm the one that is fortunate enough to be in the middle to allow the flow of the foundation through me to you. So the people that really make it happen are here with us. So everybody that's here on scholarship, can you stand for me, please? Please stay standing just for a second. Our donors from APS, our manager, Michelle Arndt from the Arizona Community Foundation are here. Can you stand up and take a look at what you've done? All right, thank you very much. Please be seated. This year, again, we were able to offer scholarships to nearly 300 departments in our state. We've changed some of the scholarship award parameters, but we're still touching those in need, and we found that out again this year. We're able to accomplish about 90% of the requests this year. I don't believe the requests were really I believe they should have been higher because we actually gave away all of our scholarships 40 days before Fire School started. So I think the word got out. I sent a message out to everybody to have a wait list. There was a small wait list, but I think that in the future, hopefully we can grow and do more of this. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on here is all because of the people we're going to talk here about. The first one is the Kemper and Ethel Marley Foundation. Miss Nancy Ball, the CFO of that organization, was unable to be here this morning, but I want to make sure that I openly say thank you. They contribute every year, and 200 firefighters come to Fire School because of their contribution. Thank you to the Ethel and Kemper Marley Foundation. The next one is APS, and APS allows 100 firefighters to come, and with them today, Mallory Libowitz is our corporate giving specialist. Mallory, if you could stand. John Dierzik, firefighter from Palo Verde, who's also part of the committee. John Padilla, emergency management coordinator, who's not here because he's working on some of the larger scale things that's going on. Wade Ward, fire management specialist. Damon Gross, community affairs. And Brian O'Malley from the Gordon C. James Public Relations. We work very closely with you guys, but thank you so much for standing by us now for 4 years. And the firefighters here are very, very appreciative, and we want to say thank you. Clay, do you have the plaque for them? Sorry to wake you up, Clay. After your talk, I was kind of scared. Yeah, no, Mallory, come up. Mallory, can you come up? Thank And Mallory, do you guys want a photo of with everybody up here for this? Come on up. You have to call them up, Mallory. You're in charge. One of the wonderful things about APS is that every year when we do this, there's more conversation. There's conversation throughout the year on how we're working on next year. Mallory and I already have a conversation about growth and expansion for next year. What are the possibilities, what we can do. So I really do appreciate the partnership. It means so much to us. Thank you. The next one I want to thank is the state legislature. Every year they contribute $100,000 to the fire school, and it's used for many things. The first thing it's used for is the reason why you have hotels at $35 a night versus 100 something. That's a big part. They also provide 100 scholarships. But I'll tell you that we had a connection into the legislature for a long, long time, and it worked out well for us. We lost that connection, but I believe today we have a connection that's so much stronger than that. And the connection is based on the commitment from Jeff Whitney, our state forester. Jeff, are you still here? When Jeff took office, I had a conversation with him, and fearful from the structural side of life that we would be lost in the mix, and he assured us that we would not, and he assured us he will stand up and fight for us. So thank you, boss. Training committee, again, thank you for all you do. Your hard work, your dedication. I mean, I have my friends, my mentors, the partners are all on that committee, and they do such a wonderful job. Last, I want to recognize somebody that is an unsung hero, somebody that not many people know about, and if you know him for sure because you never forget him. Tell you about when we went through the license plate thing, and Bob was talking about the license plates. I want to tell you, this year we checked yesterday, and there's 2,217 firefighter plates, fire training plates out there now. That money directly is used in the foundation for scholarships. The foundation still has a 0% overhead. All of the cost absorbed in that foundation is taken on by committee members and by all of us, which puts us in a position for every dollar that comes to us, it goes back out for scholarships, and that's something that's nearly unheard of today. The person I'm talking about, when we were in the initial meeting, when we had a citizen, basically, who was married to a firefighter, come in and talk to us in Tolleson, probably 6 years ago, talk to us about how to get a license plate for fire training, how it could establish a funding stream that could stay with us for quite some time. It was very daunting, and the task was very difficult and very expensive, to say the least. Before you can even have a conversation with the state of Arizona, it costs you $32,000. And for those of us that were sitting there, the 5, 6, 7 of us in the executive committee, we had no idea how this was going to work. So as she left and we continued to chew on that a little bit and try to set some plans, one of the members that was in that meeting with us, Clay, can you and John Hayes come up here, please? John Hayes was sitting there, and he is a civilian to the service, but he's been part of the dedicated process of the committee for a long, long time. And I don't know how fast John's hand went up over funding for that thing. It's amazing. With no hesitation, he was there, as he always is. He's now our current treasurer with the committee. He's a bit scary if you make a mistake, but other than that, we love him to death. Well, announcement about funding. For all of you that are used to showing up on Sunday mornings down at the counter, we're not going to do that this year. We're going to send your checks Michelle, within 7 to 10 days after fire school, we got the authority saying we are, they'll be in the mail back to you. That way there they can be accurate and we'll stop all the return stuff. And last but not least, I want to thank the Arizona Towers Association. I don't know if you guys have all seen that side-by-side sitting out front. They were kind enough to get that towed from my garage to here, and then they were going to commit to towing it to the winner's house. So there's tickets going on sale for that thing. A little disclosure, it's not brand new. It's not perfect. If you don't like it, don't take the damn thing home. And the last one is I want to say thanks to my wife for putting up with me as this process goes on year-round. Appreciate it, babe. Everybody be safe, enjoy yourself, do nothing that you wouldn't tell your mom about. Thank you very much.
confronted with a more dangerous work environment than ever before. We are forced to continually change our strategies and tactics to accomplish our tasks. Our methods may change, but our goals remain the same as they were in the past, to save lives and to protect property, sometimes at a terrible cost. This is what we do. This is our chosen profession. This is the tradition of the firefighter. The fire service of today is ever-changing, but it is steeped in traditions 200 years old. One such tradition is the sounding of the bell. It was the bell that signaled the start of duty. Through the days and nights, each alarm was sounded by a bell. It called them to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. And when the fire was out and the alarm had been completed, it was the bell that signaled its end. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it is the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. We seek strong words and symbols that give us a better understanding of our feelings when we experience a loss. And we use these words and symbols to reflect the devotion our brothers and sisters had for their duties.
Luke Jones, Daisy Mountain Fire Department.
Kirk Harrigan, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base Fire Emergency Services.
Joe Bajarski, Drexel Heights Fire District.
Steve Arthur, Globe Fire Department.
Jose Samaniego, Golder Ranch Fire District.
William Bill Dupke, Hell's Gate Fire Department.
Stephen Slade, Holbrook Fire Department.
Eric Kalestua, Hopi Agency.
Ernest Nelson Smith, Lake Havasu City Fire Department.
Leon McClellan, Mesa Fire and Medical Department.
Jim Birch, Phoenix Fire Department and Bullhead City Fire Department.
Richard Huffman, Pomerene Fire Department.
Robert Spinner, Rural Metro Fire Department.
Katie Clemente, San Jose Fire District.
Frederick Bear, Tucson Fire Department.
Okay, please be seated. As soon as they get done. Okay, they can hear you.